There he goes, one of God's own prototypes.
Dude, I would never want to spend like even 10 minutes inside of your head.
A high-powered mutant of some kind never even considered for mass production.
Like, it's such a shit show.
Too weird to live, and too rare to die.
Hey, what is up, guys? Your boy Johnny Buck here on the Johnny Buck Show. Just relaxing this Sunday. I've got a little behind on the podcast. I actually recorded it and forgot to upload one, and it was relatively time related, so I just didn't upload it. So shit the bed on that. But getting back to it, gonna have a couple loaded up in the chamber. That way, when this does happen, we're able to keep the content going. So I hope you guys have been doing well. Again, apologize for not putting this out there. I know there's not a ton of you that listen, but the ones who do, thank you. And as usual, if you get anything out of this, please do me a favor, like, share, follow, all that good shit. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys listen, I would really much appreciate it. So today I want to address something that I think is really important for society and how it relates to getting better as a human. I am trying to adjust my computer there. There we go. So I huge Michael Chandler fan, huge MLK fan. And why? What do they have to be? Why are we talking about both those today? I want to talk about the divisive media, the divisive world we have. I actually got into a bit of a argument with a law enforcement officer he's out west somewhere. I didn't like the tactic. He did. He goes, man, this is getting stupid. Let's just have a conversation like fucking adults in private. And we did. Social media especially is divisive. The media is divisive. 24/7 news channels, they have to sell ad space. It's expensive to run a news channel. It's expensive to do all those different things. So, they have to be able to fund that. And so how do they do it? They keep eyes on their product. They keep eyes on their shows. That way their advertisements get more views and they can charge more, all that good shit. And what happens is, and it's really no different than fighting. When I was fighting on the MMA, I called a good friend of mine a pussy online so we could get more money. It didn't work. We ended up not fighting. But like getting the eyes on you, getting the attention on you is really important for marketing. So that's why media is very divisive. I forgot the number off the top of my head, but I watched the news for 3-4 days. So I'm gonna give you a little backstory before I get to the rest of it. Is when my ex and I broke up, I was homeless essentially. I lived in my gym for a few days and went, this is fucking terrible. So I moved back to my house with my parents while my new place was getting set up. The guy was moving out, I was moving in. It was fucking terrible. It was nice, get laundry got done. He had food in the fridge, didn't cost you anything, which is sweet. But I ate a lot more than my parents, so I'd eat more than like 3 meals for them in a single sitting. But it's like being a teenager again, I guess. But in the morning I'd get up, I'd watch the news. Cause I was in the gym full time. I had no other job, so I'd get up, I'd have coffee, watch the news. And I was just in a shit fucking mood. And I couldn't figure out why I was in a shit mood. I thought it may have been because of the breakup. It may have been because of my living situation, whatever situation was. But realistically, what it was I was watching the fucking news. And once I realized that, I was like, motherfucker. The news wants us to be drawn into this. The news wants us to be irritated or agitated. We got to watch what's next, So I counted, and it was like one positive thing, like one positive story in 3 days. Maybe 2. I guess a sports story. I didn't count that, but they gave good news one time in 3 days, right? So that's the negative cycle of that, and that's what's divisive. Fox News blames the Democrats, CNN, MSNBC, whoever the fuck it is, they blame the Republicans, and we're sitting in the middle like, you guys are all fucking stupid, right? Facebook is the same thing. Facebook, Instagram, all that shit, they will feed you what antagonizes you, gets you to respond, gets you to do things, right? And I was really bad about that. I would put things out there just to get a reaction. Every once in a while, I'll make a post just to do it. Every once in a while, just to spike my views and get a little bit of view. Nothing political because it usually gets me squashed in the long run. But we have a very divisive media. It's been shown in studies, U.S. Facebook versus European, African, South American Facebook. You know, TikTok, same thing. Instagram, obviously part of Facebook, same thing. So what happens is we're being forced this different narrative based on getting us riled up. So the reason I want to talk about that is I saw this tweet on Twitter, and fucking Twitter is the lowest form of shit there is on Facebook. I think on social media, I think Instagram is like liberal Twitter. It's all just fucking same. So, not Instagram, Instagram threads, whatever it is. So, but I saw something and I had to address it because he's a friend of mine and someone I respect. One of the guys I work with, and I want to make sure he doesn't fall trap to society. But what happened was, so 60 years ago, just over 60 years ago, Martin Luther King said, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they are not judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. And I think that is one of the most powerful fucking things ever said in the history of the United States. It means so much. It is the goal of where we're looking to go, where I want us to go, where the vast majority of people want us to go. I don't feel like the government wants us to go there with this DEI bullshit. And, I'm not going to get in the political side, but I want to talk about the social side, the side that we have control over. So Martin Luther King said about 60 years ago. And then Michael Chandler, a UFC fighter, very good fighter, phenomenal person from what I understand. He said this, but there's a different clip that was shared. So what he said was, I'm not raising black children. I'm raising children. Whether you are black or you are white, no matter what your race that you are, there are certain things that about a man and being a good man that comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless and sticking up for those who need it. Being a good man of reputation, none of that has to do with the color of your skin or your skin color. Everything has to do with the character of the man. Probably not the answer some people want to say, but that's where the world has gone. Where we think that the most important thing about us is our skin color or our gender or our political affiliation. And obviously the clip was different. It said, I'm not raising black children, I'm raising children. And, Michael Chandler's adopted two black kids. He is white, if you guys don't know that, lives in Tennessee. And the context was, I'm not raising black children, I am raising children, was taken out of context to be divisive. It was taken out of context to cause reaction. One of the guy he goes, man, fuck you, Michael Chandler. I'm at one. Did you watch the podcast? Or did you let 140 characters completely steal the power of how you think, completely derail you? From everything I know, that Michael Chandler's a phenomenal fucking dude. A friend of mine works with him in the UFC. Another friend of mine is working with him on his house. He's from everything I've heard, he's a great dude, right? But the thing, Martin Luther King said almost the exact same thing. So what's the context? Well, it depends. It depends on how you want to look at it. I don't personally see a difference. I really don't. The idea is it doesn't matter what color you are. It matters who you are. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. When I was working in the bars, I would profile the shit out of people. Why? Because it worked. It had nothing to do with skin color. It's how you dressed, how you spoke to me when you came to the door. I could almost guarantee whether we'd have a problem or not based on the character of our initial meeting. I was wrong once in a while, but very, very rarely. And it had nothing to do with your skin tone. It had nothing to do with any, it had some to do with how you dressed, but it had a lot more on the character who you were. And I think the reason this is so bothersome to me is that this is literally the opposite of what Martin Luther King. I think it's one of the most important historical figures in the U.S. Ever. Period. Like George Washington, fucking Roosevelt, Lincoln, fucking MLK is up there. Like, he's one of the most important characters. Is he perfect? No, absolutely not. But nobody is, so I think right now what we have to do to ensure that we're moving forward, to ensure that our lives are better, to ensure that we have the opportunity is like take the fucking context of things and talk about it, because I don't like seeing this divisive shit. I just fucking don't. I think it's going to be one of the biggest problems we have. Is it's a knee jerk reaction. It's a visceral reaction. You feel attacked, or you feel attacked for somebody else, or you feel the need to jump in and protect somebody else, which is fucking great, which is what he's talking about. And I just think it's a really interesting thing where we're in such a divisive time that do I think we're having a civil war? No. But I did hear a really cool, interesting thought the other day was we are at a civil war right now, but with ideas, and it has nothing to do with North or South. It's political ideology, and we're fighting with people who we disagree about 1% of one thing. And there's so many people who identify politically like, oh, I'm a Democrat. That means anybody who's not a Democrat's a bad person. I'm a Republican. Anybody who's not a Republican is a bad person. And we're using the things that don't really fucking matter to dictate how we interact with other humans. Listen, we have more in common with people around us than we have dissimilar. I think that word works, right? We have more in common with our community, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, doesn't fucking matter. We have more in common with them than we have different, but we want to go down to the one difference we have and fight with each other. It's fucking stupid, so that's about all I got on that one. I just wanted to address it. Just my thoughts, man. I'm like, stop letting the news win. Stop being divisive. Use your fucking brain. Like, if it doesn't make sense and this is how I look at it. If I don't think that person would say that in front of my face, I don't think that it's true. Like, I highly fucking doubt it. I don't think that whoever it was trying to incite, they're doing it for likes, they're doing it for eyes, they're doing it for attention. They're not doing it for any positive impact in society. They want to do that and then fucking sell their account and get ads and shit. So that's really it, man. Like, listen, we're better than this. All right, that's it. I love you guys. Just want to touch a little society stuff today because I think it's fucking important, so we can continue moving forward, so we can continue growing businesses, so we can continue growing as a country. So we got to make sure we're not getting caught with this low hanging fruit shit. So, all right, that's it. I love you guys. If you need anything, as always, hit me up. Like, share, all that good stuff.